Okay, good evening, everyone. So, welcome back to the session. So, in the last class, which topic we have seen? Monitoring, right? Hmm. With worker nodes. For worker nodes, you need to add the prometheus.yml file that I haven't said. I'll tell now, okay? How to add the worker nodes. Let me create the COPS cluster first of all. Why? Because in today's session, I'm going to monitor the entire Kubernetes cluster. Okay. But for that purpose, we need to make sure that our cluster is created. Hmm. So I am creating the cluster. First of all, let me provide the access keys and secret keys here. Replace చేయలేదు. Sudo -a sh k.sh. Okay. So the cluster is provisioning. In today's class, we are going to continue the last session topic. So in the last class, which topic we have seen? Monitoring. Like we have seen Prometheus, Grafana. So in today's session also, like I'm going to tell you the same concept, but which is we are going to monitor the cluster level. We are going to monitor what here? So in last session, we have seen how to monitor the individual server. Of course, basically we haven't added the worker nodes. In today's session, I'm going to show you how to add the worker nodes, and I'm going to show you how to monitor the cluster level activities. What's up? Wait, what is happening in the background? Okay. So let me go and check whether my cluster is creating or not. Why? Because in last class we got the issue. But first of all, I'll check and I'll continue session today. Whether I can able to get the worker nodes or not. Okay. See, in today's session, I'm going to teach the concept of Kubernetes Helm. Which one? Helm. Why? Because in last class, we installed Prometheus Grafana through the script. But in Kubernetes, we have a package manager called Helm. Which one? So let's go and understand what is the Helm in Kubernetes. Okay. So I have given for 430. You can see here. So basically for Kubernetes, Helm is the package manager. Which one? Helm is the package manager. Okay. Right. Okay. So Helm in Kubernetes is the package manager, which is to install the packages. So in Red Hat, you use yum to install package, but in Ubuntu use like that. In Kubernetes, if you want to install any kind of package to the cluster, we can go and use the concept called Helm. It is used to install applications on the cluster. For example, say I have a Kubernetes cluster. So this will be my main, this will be my cluster actually. So cluster means combination of nodes. So in this Kubernetes cluster, if you want to install any kind of package, I can use the concept called Helm. Not only packages, you can also deploy your application through the Helm charts actually. We can install and we can deploy application by using Helm. It manages the Kubernetes resources packages through the chart. For example, see, generally, if you want to deploy an application Kubernetes, what you're gonna do? You're gonna write the manifest file. Correct or not, sir? Manifest. What you gonna write here? So you write the manifest files. After writing the manifest files, you are going to combine the manifest files into charts. With the help of the chart, you're going to deploy the application. So instead of directly executing the manifest file, we convert the manifest file into charts. Chart is nothing but collection of manifest files which require to run the application. And if I run this chart, I can able to deploy the application here. So chart is a collection of files that are organized in a structured format. Already we've seen. Chart is nothing but manifest file, but these are organized in the directory structure. So chart is a collection of manifest file. A running instance of chart with a specific configuration can be called as. That means if you are running a chart with some XYZ version, so that is what exactly we can call as release. So the installation of Helm will be pretty straightforward. If your cluster is ready, then I'm going to show you how to install the Helm here. But I'm not sure whether this cluster will run or not. Why? Because we have the CPU limits in the last session. If it is not going to work, I can use some other account for today. Let's wait for some time. That's it. That means simply we can use the charts to install any kind of application to deploy the application. Inside charts, what we'll be having? It's a manifest file collection. That means we have the directory folder. In that directory folder, we have the manifest file. And the next thing you want to observe here is, till now we installed Tomcat. We installed Jenkins. We installed through the scripts. But after scripts, we use Docker image. The advanced version is going to be Helm. That means in the Helm, already Jenkins is installed. If you use the Helm chart, Jenkins will run. If you use Helm chart, your Tomcat will run. If you use Helm chart, Prometheus will run. Like that, every application is already predefined in the charts. Where it is predefined in the charts. And the charts will be given by the community. These charts are going to maintain by the community. They will create the chart and they will give it for us. We can take the chart, we can deploy any kind of application. But the only concern is about this cluster. I don't think this cluster will create. Let me check auto scaling groups. Auto scaling groups creating means our cluster will ready. Wait for some time. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If it is not gonna work, I'll use some different account. But here I can see my ASG got created. If these are created means our server is ready to launch actually. You can go and check. Might be load balance is also ready. So wait for some time. Your server will run. Hmm. Guys, I think daily you can get the new links for your mails right online. But why you are sharing it on Telegram? I think for your mails you can get the new link daily. Like daily I was checking this one. For offline. Hmm. This cluster is taking some time. Wait. Sudarshan, it is creating Sudarshan. We need to wait. Why? Because here I can see the ASG is ready. So if it is not ready, then I would have taken some other account. But the thing is, it is not replicating here. You can see, are the ASG running here? This need to be run, but unfortunately here you can go and check. It is still on update. Let's do one thing. I'll take some other account better. Why? Because it's taking expected time more. Now I'll terminate this service. Guys, can anyone give me your AWS account to create the KOps cluster? Just come and log in the account, okay? And again, it got slow. Sorry? Yeah, Android, you can log in. So again, for here, I need to create the IAM user here. It was very big thing. IAM user is there. Huh? So I need to get the access keys then. For the same user, I can regenerate my access keys. Go for users. Ops. You already were having that keys, right? So admin access, security credentials. Already, if you are having this two access keys, you are having. Which one you want me to delete? Lastly, is 7 days ago. Na? Wait. I'll delete the first one. So first one, if you are deleting the keys, means you are gonna deactivate first. Okay. Go for .bash rc. GitHub handshake, all the cups. So now again give the access keys and secret keys here. So it is my access key. It is gonna be my secret key. So region US East 1. Output is on table form. That's it. So everything is done now. Basically, something is really crazy that I'm not able to understand. Wherever we are sitting, issue is coming for your batch only. Some time wastage, some account blocking, some functions are not working. This is only for your batch. Previously, this never happened to any of the batch, but only for your batch. I don't know why. Let me go and export this one later. Cops validate cluster command. If everything correct only. Internet issue, mic issue. But every day we are encountering at least one issue. That might be from technical, that might be due to laptop, or that might be due to some nature also. So again, we need to wait for 5 minutes here. Why? Because cluster will take time to set up. No? So guys, here, first of all, I'm going to install the Helm here. So from this particular link, I'm going to download the script. I'm going to give executable permission and I'm going to run the script. So now my Helm is installed. After installing the Helm, I'm going to install the metric server. Why? Because to track. See, if you want to get the pod CPU and node CPU information with the help of metric server only, we'll get it. And next here, I'm going to install the Prometheus here. What I'm going to install? Guys, remember, while you are installing any of the application through Helm chart, while you are installing any of the application through Helm chart, the only thing you want to understand is, first of all, you need to add the repository. Use the command helm repo, add name of the repository, what you are adding. Okay. And finally, you are going to use the link. So from this link, we are going to get the Helm charts. For example, if you copy this link and paste on Google, so from this link, you are going to get the repository. See, this is going to be maintained by the community people. Which people? So like this, first here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the repository of Prometheus and I'm going to add the repository of. So in these charts, my applications are already configured. So now after adding the repository, step number 2 is you want to update the repos. Why? Because see, I'm currently using this repos. Might be if I have any new updates, so I'll get them. So Helm repo update. If you run this command, both the repos are going to be update. The command to list the Helm repositories are Helm repo list. So first of all, add the repositories, then update the repository. Step number 3 is installing them. Guys, if you want to install like a Prometheus, create a namespace. What you want to create? Similarly for Grafana also, create a namespace. After creating, now install the application. With the help of Helm, I am installing the Prometheus application from the charts of Prometheus community in the namespace of Prometheus. And I'm using here persistence volume claim of GP2. What I'm using here? Why? Because I want to store data. GPT means general purpose. Okay, it is the concept of EBS volume, which you can see later. And with the help of PV, I'm going to take the PVC also. Installation is very straightforward. With the help of Helm, I'm going to install the Prometheus application from the Prometheus chart. In which namespace? I'm going to create the PV to store data, as well as I'm going to create the PVC also. So use the command kubectl get PO. It is going to show the list of pods. In that pod, my Prometheus will run. Similarly for Grafana also, with the help of Helm, install Grafana from the Grafana charts in the namespace of Grafana. And here also, first of all, get the persistence volume and get the persistence volume claim itself. But here I'm using set admin password. That means whenever if I want to log into my Grafana, by default username will be admin. But this time username will be admin, but the password will be RAM DevOps. And if I want to log into my Grafana, I need to expose the application. To expose the application, I'm using service here. What I'm using? What is service type here? That means I'll get the load balancer DNS. From there, I'm gonna expose the application and I can log into it. So this is the way how exactly you are going to install Prometheus and Grafana itself. So now my node is ready. So here I'm going to install Helm. Guys, already Helm installation I have given on the all setups. If you go and check here, are using helm.sh. Here you can copy the script and you can directly paste it. Okay. So now your cluster is ready. The first thing I'm going to do is install the Helm here. Is the Helm installed now? So after installing the Helm, what is the step number 2? You are going to install the metric server. Copy it, paste it. Done. Step number 3, you are going to add the repositories of Prometheus and Grafana. First command will add the Prometheus repository. You can see Prometheus community has been added. How can you check? Helm repo list. Oh, sorry, list spelling wrong. LIST. Are you getting the Prometheus repository? Similarly, I want to add the Grafana. So after adding them, the first thing you're gonna do is Helm repo update. Why? Because you want to get the latest updates. Now these two are updating now. After updating, I am checking. Now I have the two repositories. So once you're done with it, the next step you're gonna do is you wanna create the namespace. I'm creating the namespace for Prometheus. Use the command kubectl will get ns. Are you getting Prometheus namespace here? Now here you're gonna install the application. With the help of Helm, I'm installing the Prometheus application from Prometheus chat in the namespace of, and I'm using the alert manager to get the persistence volume of storage cost GP2 and PVC also GP2. Run this command. After running this command, now you are going to see lot of pods are running. Give the command kubectl get pivo in Prometheus namespace. And you can use all also. All means you can get the pods, services and everything. Now in the Prometheus namespace, are you seeing services and deployments or not, sir? In these pods, now your Prometheus is running. Similarly, we want to install the application of Grafana also. Again, these are the commands. With the help of Helm, I'm installing Grafana from Grafana chart here in the namespace of, and I'm using PV for GP2 and PV is enabled here. And I'm using the password of DevOps, Raham DevOps to log into the Grafana. And here service I'm using. Why? Because to expose the application. Copy them. Huh? You can put your password also. Oh, wait. First of all, I need to create a Grafana namespace. Here I forgot this point. Done. So after doing this one, now what you can do, you can directly go and you can directly access the application of Grafana. So let me get the service of Grafana pod here. You can get with load balancer DNS. Or is the load balancer DNS here? Now directly copy this DNS and paste here. Automatically, now you are going to get the Grafana dashboard. Wait for it. All of load balancer service will take some time to activate. Wait for it. No request, no request. It will come soon. Is it coming now? By default, whenever if you expose any application through load balancer will take some time to activate. So we need to wait for it. What is the username here? Password, I have put one password. That is my custom password. I have given Raham DevOps. Which one? This I need to put. But in your case, you can change your password. Login. Now you can go and click on data sources here. So data source will be Prometheus. So guys, by default, generally we need to give the Prometheus IP address, right? But here we are going to give the cluster URL. So by default, if you can go ahead and see, the cluster URL will be this one. This will be common for the Kubernetes cluster. Whenever if you want to monitor the Kubernetes cluster, the below URL will be common for any of the cluster. So copy this URL, give it here. That's it. Click on save and test. Now click on build a dashboard. If you click on this plus symbol, click on. So I think already you know how to import. We need to give the codes actually. No, that is for a single server. But here I'm monitoring the Kubernetes cluster. Na. So the ID is 64. I'll show you multiple dashboards. Okay, if I give 6417, click on load, select the Prometheus. It is going to tell that this dashboard will monitor the Kubernetes cluster. Click on import. Automatically, you can get the complete dashboard information now. How many number of nodes you are having? How many number of pods? 28. How many number of containers? Are you getting the information or not, sir? and the rest of the information is loading. It will take some time actually. This is telling that this dashboard depends upon Angular, which is deprecated and will stop working in future. That is, previously in this dashboard, we get the complete information, but now it is telling that this dashboard is gonna vanish in upcoming days. So please try to use some other dashboard. Of course, we have some other dashboard also. So 6417 is the basic dashboard, what you can monitor your cluster information. But in the recent version, it is telling that this is going to be removed in the upcoming days. So what I'm gonna do now here, instead of using 6417, I'm gonna use port number 315. Which one? If I use port number 315, I can see the cluster CPU usage, cluster memory usage, cluster file system, pod CPU usage. Why? Because this is not working now. So I'll go ahead and use some other dashboard here. Click on plus, import, use the ID, load, and data source will be Prometheus. Now go ahead and check. So total for our cluster, we are having 11.45 GB. In that 11.45 GB of RAM, how much of RAM we are using now? That means 38.9% of CPU is already, sorry, RAM is used. And totally how many CPUs we are having here? CPU we are not using. Why? Because currently our pods are running, but it is not having any load. If the pods are not having load, our CPU will not be consumed. If you scroll here, for example, I want to see the container CPU usage. Are you seeing the container CPU usage here? Which container is using how much of CPU? Are you able to see it or not? Can see it lively. Are you seeing it now? Based upon the container ID, you can see the number of CPU and number of memory usage. And even if you want to see the process, like which process is running in our cluster, you can see the process information here. Are you able to see? Like this. So you can see the container CPU usage, container memory also. If you go here, I think container memory usage here. Let me maximize. What is the shortcut for maximize? V. So this Docker container is using how much of memory, sir? Almost it is using 288 MB. How much? And this container number 2 is using how much of MB? Almost it is using 120 of MB. How much? We can see the value 114 MB. How much? And if I place this on next one, so next container with yellow tag is using how much of MB? 50 MB. Which one? And next container with red ID, it is using how much of MB? So like this, you can see the node information and pod information also. So you can check like this. Sir, for example, even though if I want to check the network information, are you seeing the network information here? Are you able to see network passage or not? How much of data is sent and how much of data is received? So in this way, we can also monitor the network information of the cluster. So you can see pod network. Of course, pod network is not working here. Fine. So like this, you can see the data. Sir, I don't want this dashboard. For example, if I want any of other dashboard, what I can do is I can go and use the port number 1145. 1145 is for PV and PVC. Currently, if I give the command kubectl get PV, how many PVs are there? 3. So if I use port number 11454, oh sorry, not new folder. Import the dashboard. Use the ID here 11454. If you put this ID, are you seeing PVs and PVCs here? See, you can go and click on use. In the user section, you can see. Wait. In the stats, how many PVs are having here? Are you able to see it or not, sir? So in that case, you can also monitor the PV and PVC also. You can check how much of data you are using. See, my first PV is having 7.7 GB, but how much I'm using here? Usage 2.4 MB. It is on GB, but it is on MB. If you compare 0.003%. Second PV is having total 1.9 GB, but how much I'm using? 24. Third PV is having 10 GB, almost all, but I'm using 1.14. Sir, in this way, we can also monitor the PV and PVC. And there is one more dashboard with 747. It is going to monitor the pod metrics. Which one it is going to monitor? So again, click on plus symbol here, import the dashboard. give the ID, load, select the data source. Now here you can go ahead and check. This is the pod IP address. Okay, one pod I'm monitoring. Here you can see lot of pods. Are you able to see the pods? You can select any of the pod. For example, metric server pod I want to monitor. So this metric server IP address you can see. Wait, it failed. The pod is failed. Let me check some other pod. Cops controller. Application pods, web pod, app pod, database pod. We use application pod only. Na? So in this way, you can also see the pod IP address and pod CPU utilization, pod memory utilization. You can also monitor the individual pods also. For example, if I go here, you can see values like this. So node all means it is going to monitor all the nodes. No, sir, if I want to monitor any of the one node, how many nodes you are having? If I want to monitor only this one node, click on this one node. Now I can be only able to monitor that particular node itself. Okay. So like this, guys, we can also monitor the pods information. And finally, if I want to get the complete overview dashboard of Kubernetes 14623, this is the best dashboard for the Kubernetes to monitor the entire cluster. Click on new dashboard, import dashboard, give the ID, load, select the data source, common ID, load, data source. That's it. If you click on import, you can see this dashboard. Total number of nodes, how many you are having? 3. Okay, you can go and check what is the pod usage. I have how many pods here? 28 pods, right? So out of 11.5 GB, 11.5 GB total, how much of GB that I am using now? 4.5 GB. How much? And out of total 13 GB, how much of GB I'm using now? So like this, you can also get out of total 6 CPUs. How many CPUs I'm using now? Out of 6 CPUs, how many I'm using now? CPU, guys. 1.67. You can see the CPU request. Okay. Which pod is requesting how many CPUs? Which pod is requesting the how much of memory? You can see it here. Are you seeing this one? Memory information. So like this, you can monitor the entire cluster dashboard itself with the help of the concept called Prometheus and Grafana. So this we use from Prometheus Grafana only. You can ask me, sir, you are showing me how to monitor the cluster, but in the cluster, I want to monitor only one node. How can you monitor? In the node, instead of all, select any one worker node. Now you are going to monitor in only one worker node. For this worker node, how many CPUs I'm having? So I'm using 0.2 out of 2. How much of RAM I'm having? Total 3.82. So like this, even though I can monitor the individual nodes also. Sir, for example, I want to monitor node 2. Select node 2 here. You can monitor the node 2. Sir, not like that. Here you can go and see. Total number of pods are 28. But in the node 2, how many pods are running? Node 2, 8. If I go to node 1, for node 1, how many pods are running? 12. For master, how many pods are running? 8. So like this, you can also check the individual node to monitor. And coming to the namespace also, we have a lot of namespace. Sir, for example, I want to monitor a Grafana namespace only. So in that case, what you can put is nodes all, namespace go for Grafana. So now you are going to get the data from Grafana namespace only. Which namespace? Grafana namespace. So like this, guys, you can select the namespace which you want to monitor. You can select the node which you want to monitor. You have the chance to select. But at the end of the day, all these dashboards are coming from where itself. It is going to come from Grafana Cloud. Which one? Go ahead and search here Grafana Cloud. If you want to create account, you can create also, but it is not mandatory. In the Grafana Cloud, you can create the account, but I am not creating the account. But you can connect from GitHub also. In the GitHub, authorize Grafana. Right, it is not my account. GitHub. Wait, let me log into DevOps Warehouse. Already I have the Grafana cloud account. Oh, let me show for you how to create the cloud account. Tell me, like any of your user or email, like email. So click on register first of all. For registration, you can register through the GitHub actually. But I'll better to create this one. Anita already, right? Uh, uh, at the rate. Password, I'll tell you later. Anil, please tell me your activation code. A394 CB. Hmm? Yeah, it's loading slowly. Wait, guys, it's still loading. So it's taking some time to load the instance. Wait for some time, okay? Yeah, taking so much time. I said na, every day we have one. Today it is. It won't take this much of time, but that will take a lot of time. That will take one separate session. Yeah. Already done. Hmm? You got? No, account is activated, but it is creating the instance, so it is taking some time. Okay, I'll leave it. I think it will create some time later. I'll leave it and I'll go for the next topic here. I'm gonna show you some other dashboards also for your greater understanding. If you go to Grafana dashboards, so click on Grafana dashboards now. So now here we are going to monitor the Kubernetes, right? So here type here Kubernetes. What I'm going to type? If I type here, so this will be the lot of dashboard. For example, if I want to see this dashboard, select this dashboard. Okay. So what is the ID here? 6417, which we already seen. So this we already be covered. So no need to use this one again. For example, which one? Are you seeing this dashboard? Dashboard is 3063. What is the like a source here? Prometheus. So Prometheus, like we are already having Prometheus. So what I can do is I'll go here, click on import, new dashboard, give the ID. After giving ID, what is the next thing we want to do? Select the, and this is to see the memory cached pods monitoring. That means if you want to see the RAM, cache RAM. So in that case, I can see, but here I'm not getting the data. Why? Because we need to check dependency. Data source Prometheus is added. And here we need to add one more thing called single stat. Which one? If we add this data source, then only we are going to get the data, or otherwise we are not going to get the data. See, if you want to add the different data source, how you can add the different data source? That is very easy. Go to the home. Here you can see something called as home dashboard. Go and click on the data source. Here, what is the data source we are having now? No, single stat. See, if you want to get the data, you need to have the data source only. Are you having this data source here? No. So let me search. So guys, if we don't have data sources, we cannot do anything about it. We need to add it externally, or we need to go for Grafana Cloud. So there we can go and create some other data sources. Click on add new data source. It is not available. Let me go and show some other thing for you. So whatever they have mentioned, we need to use the data source only. Event Explorer, let me go and check. Your data source is Loki. Loki we need to have. This is also some other data source. Of course, we can add data source of Loki, but I'm going to tell on upcoming days, like how to add like data source Loki. Main thing is it's still taking 10 minutes, but it is not creating. That's what I'm wondering. Let's remove this one. You can come back and again select here Kubernetes. So for metrics, you can use this one. Let me go and check. Dashboard ID is 1 triple. Again, we are having single set, so it is not going to create. Let me search data source as Prometheus. Now we can search. Storage already be seen. Cluster summary already be seen. Cron job is something different. Kubernetes control plane. Okay. So 10907. So this is to monitor the control plane object. I think all of you know control plane, right? What is control plane in Kubernetes? Control plane is nothing but master node. Which node? So guys, don't forget this point, okay? Import the dashboard 10907 or 7007. Click on load. Select Prometheus. Import. So now this can monitor the complete Kubernetes API server. You can go and check, are you seeing the response second of API server here? And are you seeing the request here, like how many requests you are getting now? But here the data is not coming. Why? Because sometimes if you don't have the dependency, some data will not be visible for you. Here I can only see some data, but what about the remaining data? Means we need to have the dependency. For this control planner, if you go and see dependency, you need to have the graph all dependency. It is one of the dependency what we are having missing. So guys, in a high level overview, so with the help of this help, we can install the Prometheus, we can install the Grafana, and we can monitor the application. And one more thing is, in last class, I haven't shown you how to add the worker nodes actually. Here in the cluster, already worker nodes will be added. But for example, see, if we are having one main monitoring server, for example, let me go and show. It is the main monitoring server, which I shown in last session. For this monitor node, now I want to add the worker nodes. What I want to add? So I'll show you how to add the worker nodes. For example, let's take this will be my worker node 1. For example, I'm taking, okay, it will be my worker node 1 and this will be my worker node 2. So if you are having both worker node 1 and worker node 2, then how to monitor this worker node 1 and worker node 2? So the concept is very simple. Or let me do one thing. Let me delete the cluster and let me create the individual nodes for your better clarity. Cops, delete, cluster, hyphen name, Raham dot, create s dot, hyphen yes. The reason why I'm deleting means why, because I will create two separate node and I'll show you. Why? Because that is going to make your work very, very easy. So currently it is my monitoring server here. What I can see here. Let me go and click on running servers. In this monitoring server, I'll go copy the public IP address. And what is the port number of Prometheus? Prometheus. And what is the port number of Grafana? 3000. So these both will be activated now. We'll go and log in. If the service is not activating, we need to go and restart the services. See, that cluster monitoring is done. Now I'm going to show you how to monitor the individual nodes. Oh, you are using cops.pem. Okay. Let me connect here. See, if it is not working means we are going to use the systemctl restart grafana.server. Okay. Why? Because, whenever I stop the server, service is also going to be stopped. Sudo -a, give the command systemctl restart grafana. Where is the this one? Prometheus is there. Node exporter is there. Grafana, where is Grafana? So I'm starting this one. Is it working now? That's it. So now once you log into the Grafana, so how can you add the worker nodes? Okay, so let me log in and let me show you. So username, Anil, have you given admin? New password, I'm giving Graham123. So now if you go and see, here you have the data source. So already I think you configured the Prometheus, right? So what I'm going to do is if I go to the dashboard here, I'm going to import the dashboard. Dashboard will be 1860. What is the dashboard ID? Click on load. So already this is got created, but I'll create one more thing for you. Change user ID. Prometheus. So now you have the dashboard actually. Okay. You can go and check the dashboard of main server. But here, what is our requirement? We want to add the worker nodes. For that purpose, what I'll be doing is I'll create the worker node. But before that, let me delete the existing dashboards. Let me go and check the dashboard. See, it is a dashboard. I want to delete this one. Click on delete. Why? Because I'll recreate the same dashboard now. So click on create dashboard, import. ID will be 1860. Import. So currently you can see the data, but if you want to see the data, you need to activate the node exporter also. Let me go and check whether my server is having the node exporter or not. Guys, already we seen if you don't have node exporter, is it going to work for you? So node exporter is working. So that means I'll get data. Are you getting the data here? Oh, man. I don't know like what is happening every time for only your batch servers is not responding at the time. Like whether we sit on any class, this issue is happening only with your batch. See, like already the setup is done, but it is not loading. Let me create everything from the scratch. I'm getting a lot of frustration actually. Why? Because see, like these kind of technical issues is not common, but for your batch, it's repeating regularly. Now again, I need to install all of them. Again, I need to create the servers. Fine, I'll recreate them. I'll create 3 servers now at a single time. So in the server number 1, I'm going to give the name will be, it's on pending status. Where is the pending status? It is my monitoring server. It is my worker one. This will be my worker number 2. Okay. So in the monitoring server, let me install all of them quickly. It's testing my patience a lot. pgn.sh. So in the meanwhile, I'll connect to my worker nodes here. So in the background context, my Prometheus Grafana node exporter is going to run. So in worker nodes, if you want to get the data, what you going to install, sir? Node exporter. Which one? Node exporter. So in the worker node 1, I'm installing node exporter. And again in the worker node 2 also, I'm going to install node exporter. No, node exporter is agent. Without node So here my main server got set up with all of them. So I'll be accessing the applications now. So this is my monitoring server. First of all, access Prometheus with the port number 9090. It is working. And metric server 913. So guys, here we got the internet issue. So which is very common for us. No need to worry. So now you can see this is working. So metric server node export is working. So let me log into the main server and let me show you how to add the worker nodes. So username will be admin and password is also going to be. So I'm not going to give the new password here. I can skip it off. So directly go ahead and give the data source here. Click on save and test and click on build a dashboard. So new dashboard, import. What is the code? 1860. So this already, which we seen in the last session. Okay. So now by defaultly, whenever if you go and see, you can see the data of the main server only. But what is my intention? I want to monitor the worker nodes. So whenever if you want to monitor the worker nodes, first of all, you are going to install node exporter here. What you going to install? Node exporter. See, if I go for Prometheus, here you can get the status. If you go for targets, currently my worker node 1 and worker node 2 is on down status. So go and install the node exporter here. So copy from here, directly go for multi-execution mode and paste them. Arey man. So here I'll go and install node exporter. sh ne.sh. Arey. Yes, node exporter is installed. And in the worker node 1 also, I'm going to install the node exporter. Create the script like this. VM ne.sh. sh. So node exporter is working. Sir, once the node exporter is working, if you go ahead and check, if I click on refresh, still this will be on down status only. Which status? Why? Because if you install node exporter, that doesn't mean you are monitoring this one. If you want to add the worker nodes, in worker nodes, we install node exporter. But in the main server, you want to add them in the host. If I can go and see, just to go to here, inside etc, inside Prometheus folder, there is a file called prometheus.yml. Which file? Prometheus. In this YML, localhost means where you install the Prometheus Grafana. So from your localhost, you are monitoring the application, and you are monitoring the application from worker 1 and from worker number. So here basically we need to put the IP address. What we need to put? IP address. This is the metric server. So from this worker number 1 with the metric server port number, I am monitoring the application. See, here you need to go to etc host, VM, etc hosts. So go here and come here, give the public IP address of worker 1. What you need to give? Public IP address of worker 1. And what is the name I have given in the section here? Worker 1 in that file. And similarly, I want to give the public IP address of worker number 2 itself. So here I want to give worker 2. Sir, even though if I want to add my worker number 3, I can add worker number 3. But if you add here worker number 3 in this file, you need to go and type here worker -3 9100. By default, I designed this file to monitor 2 worker nodes only. But if you want to add worker node number 3, put comma worker 3 9100. Once if you add that one, if you can go and click on refresh, this will come to up status now. Are these up now? Now, if you go to here, previously you can see only one host. But if I click on refresh, you can see 3 hosts now. If I click here, if I want to monitor worker number 1, select worker number 1. Are you able to see worker number 1 here? And no, sir, if I want to monitor worker number 2, are you seeing worker number 2 here? So like this, you need to add the IP address of worker nodes in the main server. If you add that one, then you can able to monitor the server very easily. So this is the way how exactly going to monitor the nodes in the real time. Create the nodes, install node exporter, and add the IP address to the main server. That's it. Now in the graphical user interface, you can have drop down. In this drop down, you can able to select the node name and you can monitor. Is it clear for all of you now? Online. Can you please confirm me, is the concept of adding worker nodes clear for all of you or not? Fine. So this is the concept of monitoring. So Prometheus and Grafana. So with the help of Prometheus and Grafana, in real time also we are going to monitor the live application. Is the concept clear for all of you now? That's it. So these notes I am giving for you. Monitoring only. No, Grafana is to monitor. That's it. If any of the issue is getting, we are going to set up the alerts. For example, if your CPU percentage is more than 50%, we are going to trigger an alert. If your memory is almost like 100 MB used, we are going to set an alert. That I'm going to explain in upcoming days. Basically, alerting is not a part of your syllabus, but I'll cover for you. And even there is a concept called low and prompt tell. That is also not a part of your syllabus, but I'll cover that for you. But not now. Why? Because if I tell now, your fuse will be gone. The main reason that I'm not able to make this class extend means I don't know why every time for our class only we are getting the issues. I'm not sure. Like no, it's not about the timing. See, even if you change timing, sometimes system is getting issue, sometime network, sometime mic, sometime rain. Which one you are going to change? You know, we change the class also, right? I don't know. Like someone is doing black magic for our class or what? Why? Because this many type of hurdles I never face for any class, but only for your class. Mm. And this is the first class with completely occupied with the boys. Without a single girl, this is the class that completely occupied with boys. Mm. Very, very special. Huh? हमें भी नहीं आए थे. Oh, okay. Lucky boys, I can say. Okay, so now let's go for doubts and queries, sir. Oh no, oh, now I know. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So Srinivas, you can speak now. Srinivas, I give the unmute option for you.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir? Sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Tell me.
Sir, as you cautioned, we have to delete the cluster by using the corpse delete command. But in case, sir, before deleting the cluster, the corpse instance EC2.
Okay, before deleting the cluster, if you do delete main node, what will happen? Right?
Then, how to recover? How to delete the cluster in that case?
Delete the auto scaling group, Srinivas.
Please come again, sir. Sir, please repeat, sir.
You can delete the auto scaling groups. Auto scaling groups.
Sir, your voice is not clear, sir. Your voice is not clear, sir.
You can see the internet connection is unstable, so it's not mistake from our end. Srinivas, you can delete the auto scaling group. If you delete auto scaling group, automatically servers will be removed. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And let me update the notes for you first of all, because I'm forgetting this sometime. Troubleshooting, see, there is no one particular reason. There will be n number of reasons. It might be node level issue, it might be pod level issue, it might be cluster level, it might be service level, it might be configuration level, or it might be network level. There are a hell lot of reasons like that. So still any queries, guys, online?
ఎందుకు నాకు సరిపోలేదు నీకు సరిపోలేదా నాకు చిన్నవైపోలేదు అది ప్రాబ్లమే చికెన్ వాళ్ళు తక్కువ
So you can remove these servers after practice. So guys, still any queries from your end?
అది వైట్
Again, this also got stuck.
బ్లాక్స్ కూడా బ్లాక్స్ బ్లాక్స్ కంప్లీట్గానే ఉంది నేను అడగలేదు ఇవ్వు అన్నా అక్కడ నుంచి నాకు
Sure, Divya, I'll start discussing from upcoming days. Okay. Fine. Okay, guys. So that's it for today. So let's meet on tomorrow's session. Some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Take care.